Gaming.
Welcome everybody back here to the Battle Royale Hall. I am Toby1.
And I'm Wagamama.
And we are back here for game number 2 of our best of 3, man. And after game number 1, who knows what's coming for game number 2.
What a sick game. That was completely crazy.
It is, man. It absolutely is. Game number 2, though, looks to be set to go down the same path. The guys are already starting at the draft.
Yeah.
I almost want to give a big shout out as well to someone who is, well, not able to tune in right now. Our panel member, Gods, who couldn't make it here. He had to leave halfway through the last game to catch his flight.
In that game. That he tweeted out right before he left, have to leave. This game is so intense. He didn't even know.
Luckily, there'll be highlight clips galore from that game. But man, let's look at this drop. Let's look at this drop, because already you see again LGD. Alliance S4 has said, you can have the Alchemist. You can have him again. Again, we see Sylar with his hard farmer. The change up this time around is Zhao Wei. Well, he didn't pick up the Dark Seer again. He let it go through, but he grabs the Visage this time.
He grabs the Visage, and also S4, after giving away this Alchemist, this time he picks up Naga Siren early, as it was banned out in the second phase in the first game.
Yep.
He picks it up early to secure it, and it can be a very nice hero against Alchemist. There's many things to it. You can ensnare him always, even in the BKB, and in some teamfights you can even ulti and ensnare him in his BKB and slay him while his team is sleeping. So it's a very good hero to have against him, especially as a support.
I'm interested to see how both teams approach this lineup. Like, we have a Naga Siren, and I know a lot of people who were here at TI2 will remember the Naga Siren, the sleep, the set up to the big AoE ultimate effects. You get the black holes, you get the Ravages, you add these kind of steel kind of things. But now when you pick up a Nature's Prophet as your next one, it gives you strong laning, it gives you a lot of damage during the team fight through, obviously, the Prophet ultimate, but it doesn't give you a big area of effect damage kind of pull. So I'm going to see if S4... Well, we get Gyro. He's got, actually, I believe it's still
I was just about to say, we're going to go into a Gyro for sure. When we see Naga and Nature's Prophet, there will be a Gyro. We saw it in the prelims. We cast a lot of Alliance games, and they played it several times. Naga Siren along with Gyrocopter.
Yep.
They sleep, and EGM will be playing the Naga, and the timing he has on catching out the enemy team when they're standing just a little bit too close.
Yep.
And then cancelling it perfectly with the Gyro ulti. Every single time we saw it, it was really marvelous to watch.
And this is where I want to ask you the question. Are we going to see an Alliance S4 Puck to combine up with both Naga and Gyro? Or does he look down a different line here?
It could very well be, but I think they want to see a little bit more about LGD first. What's the second support going to be? What's their mid going to be? LGD, they have to show the colors a little bit more with this pick as well. Only having Alchemist and Visage doesn't really tell the tale of the lineup. So.
They may not actually have to show it at all when you look at, like, you got a Visage, you pick up another supporter right now, you won't know your other two cores. And Alliance have to go into, well, obviously there's another 2 sets of picks, but Alliance has the next pick and they'll have to do a blind.
Yeah, but their next pick, they can pretty much pick up a support as well. So we're going to see Bane. And this is an insanely strong lane. If you lane Bane, Visage, and Alchemist, there's not a lot of heroes that can contest this lane at all.
Yeah.
It's pretty brutal. The damage from Nightmaring into Alchemist done into Visage. And we see Crystal Maiden. I love seeing this hero.
The lovely blonde of the scene.
She's so nice.
She is obviously very fragile as a woman, and also very slow. Mainly her movement speed is really, really bad.
The main reason that Crystal Maiden does not play that much is that her movement speed is low. She is a very nice hero in other regards, having a slow, having a stun. Her, well, sort of stun. Frostbite is not really a stun. It cancels spells, but you can still cast spells from it.
Oh, we're going to go again. Yao. Again, we'll get his Magnus.
LGD seem to have a very similar lineup to last game, combination play, and we saw the beautiful combinations they played in the team fights. It was just superb. Even fighting against 20,000 gold advantage, they still won.
Yep. So mid-solo, if that is going to be Magnus, it will be Magnus. Mid-solo means Alliance now know what they want to do with their mid-solo. It's melee versus melee. Their choices are pretty much open for what they want to try and run there. They may even just try and go, obviously, like we mentioned the Puck before, not a bad hero up against the Magnus, but really to be careful about that timing for the RP.
LGD need to ban Timbersaw. LGD needs to ban it out. I think that if they don't, S4 will so happily play it in this game. There's an Alchemist, there's a Magnus, 2 melee strength heroes that he will easily lane against or play against in the mid game. And with the fighting lineup of LGD, it's really nice game for Timbersaw. So let's see if they're gonna do it. They did it in the previous game in the 5th ban.
I think that last match performance has to have a ×2 on the diffusal blade. When they show with the double heart, there should be a double diffusal to spend money on. They actually banned out a DK, thinking that'll be the matchup up against the Magnus. Wouldn't actually be a banned selection as far as Alliance goes. We'll land to push down towers pretty quickly, but I think you are right as far as like the ability to slice LGD and Twine when you're at that Timbersaw. But Alliance, there's a little bit of a discussion, not much of one. It looks like S4 is already moving his hand to the mouse, so maybe they are ready to select here. In fact, yeah, they're going already back to their chairs, and we'll see if you can be right with your Timbersaw selection.
Everyone done talking in the team of Alliance, so they're gonna go for a 5th pickup, and LGD. I imagine the last pickup is just gonna be the same pattern as in the last game as well. Gonna go for a 5 stunner kind of lineup and just fight a lot.
Yeah. Well, it kind of worked for them. Well, at the end of the game, I still want to ask myself that question.
It worked.
What if Sylar didn't chase the kill? Like that was, I was completely surprised by the amount of damage. Like when he had started attacking on that fortress, man, that thing dropped fast.
It did, but they started attacking the fort. No, well, Alliance.
They went for 2 heroes and then went for other things.
Alliance started attacking the fortress as we saw LGD beginning to hit the tier 4s.
Yeah.
So that's why. And Puck is going to be the choice.
Okay.
Another hero he loves.
It's a really good hero when you try and dodge up against Alchemist as well as Visage.
Oh, yeah.
And mainly because, like, you got Soul Assumption. It's still a projectile nuke. And then you got Alchemist. It's a projectile stun with a little bit more damage. And then you got Magnus, RP. You can phase shift and evade that. S4 is a very experienced Puck. When it comes to maneuvering, when it comes to those split second, like those things that basically make you want to jizz, that's what Puck creates, especially with S4 playing him.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
And now last player from Xiao Wei. He knows he's up against the Puck in the middle lane. Magnus up against Puck. Still won't be a bad thing. And they go with a Nyx Assassin here.
Nyx Assassin, and this is a core Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, it is.
This should put Yao to the offlane, I think, but maybe Xiao Wei knows.
No, you're actually right. It's Yao to the safe lane. It's Yao to the safe lane, Xiao Wei down the middle lane, and then you get your aggressive tri-lane you were talking about before.
This.
Which means that Crystal Maiden, who is, as we said, very, very fragile, very low movement speed, can get picked up by the Bane as well as the Visage. You want to have someone like a Visage pop off that Grave Chill. Crystal Maiden, she's slow enough as it is. She's basically going to be moonwalking on the spot.
Yeah, it's a solo mid Nyx for sure, and Yao is going to go down to the safe lane. So Xiao 8 mid this game, and it's going to be aggressive tri-lane almost for sure coming out of LGD.
Yeah, I think DD already wants to just make sure they... Oh, are they? Yeah, they are. Sylar's also heading down south lane. In fact, all 5 players from LGD are heading down south. And
Same
Alliance,
for Alliance.
Yeah, they're scouting out with their trees. They're going to move themselves. No. No. Yes. Yes. Alliance are considering it. And maybe it's one of the... Well, Alliance are well known for their traps. They're well known for their traps around around the Rosh pit. And we basically just form a... Well, not even a conga line. That's just basically a chorus line. Waiting for LGD to come and check. And the trees are already watching Xiao Wei move, but they're not moving towards Roshan. In fact, they're trying to make it so if you did see it, the trees are moving towards Roshan. They're using the movement of the treants as bait to look in towards the Rosh pit. And LGD, well, they need a moment to think about this.
I don't know if that's what they need a moment for. They seem to be looking over to the PCs over there, and the tech guy is walking up to the PC, so...
It's not something you'd instantly assume though. Like you've got a Nature's Prophet, so I know we're talking about this even back on day number 1. We're talking about Alliance and their ability with the depth with their offlane, like with the Lone Druid and Nature's Prophet, 2 of the biggest core heroes that Admiral Bulldog plays.
Yes.
Both heroes always make you got to check that Roshan is being done because the possibility is always very, very high. The issue I have right now is with the amount of damage you get out from Puck, Gyro, Naga, as well as Crystal Maiden, I don't know if it really would be enough. You'd probably just jump over the point where the creeps will spawn in order to get Roshan down.
Well,
so it would take a very, very long time to do it.
If you start killing Roshan as soon as possible with these heroes, you would be able to do it in time. We see a good luck have found from Yao, so I guess they're ready again. Oh, well, not really. It's just throwing out some luck and fun. Good manners.
There's no other thing. It's just, yeah, good luck, have fun, man.
Yeah.
There's always good sportsmanship.
Yeah, Sylar DC'd, so he's going to come back soon.
Yeah. Oh, we saw good sportsmanship last night, too. That was good fun.
Yeah.
That was really good fun.
I think that both these teams, after last game, they might even need a little bit of a longer time here to breathe after that. When you have a game that goes plus 60 minutes and it's so intense, it really, it drains you somewhat in the... in terms of your endurance.
Yeah, it's actually funny because I was walking down the back just before when Alliance are on this side of the stage, and the Mesa took over the girls' toilet. Yeah.
Yes.
Probably should let that detail out.
Yes.
But they seemed all pretty much nice spirits. Just going in there, nice little quiet area, have a quick drink. Bulldog popped his head out and said hello. I was like, oh, well, okay. But they all seemed very cool, calm, and collective. Like last game, they knew it was obviously very much on the edge of what could have been their loss in their first game up here in the playoffs. But at the same time, like, they've been in these situations before. These guys have traveled to many events. In fact, these are the only guys that have ever gone to China and won an entire, like, a LAN event in China. They're the only foreign team to do such a thing.
And did so without dropping a single game.
Yes. Like, it was complete dominance. But that's the kind of experience that these guys are bringing into the game, where they've been in these situations. They've been in front of, like, if you've ever been in front of a Chinese Dota 2 crowd, that is intense.
That is something special.
That is intense. I remember when I was casting WCG and, like, 2009 table almost got wiped out because the crowd was just so big it was being pushed into the commentators area. These guys love
some passion,
their Dota.
man.
No, it's full-on passion.
Yeah.
It's what Dota 2 inspires. And, well, these guys have been in the heart of that. You get a full crowd, and all they want to do is just see great Dota 2. You give them that, and the entire vibe that goes around you as a player, like, that's the kind of stuff that makes you start shaking.
Yeah, really. And that's when you get epic games like this, when you have that support from the crowd and the players just feel that they're there to play that amazing Dota that the fans want, and you just get to see these amazing series. I really hope that LGD win now. I said before I was talking to you, I said I wanted either team to win 2-0, and we're going into the game again.
Yeah, we're good to go.
But
yeah,
after that first game, I really want to see 3 games now.
Yeah, we want more of game one, more of game one. That way we can have a heart attack. We don't have to cast for the rest of the day after this best of 3. So we can die. We can die at the conclusion of this best of 3. All right, into the game we go. So we get ourselves our lane, so let's just run through them very, very quickly. And it looks like we are going to see a bit of a change up here. So Yao will attempt to go long lane up against Admiral Bulldog. The Aura is saying hi over on the top room, which will spawn, and it is not on the top. In fact, it's going to be a DD rune.
That's a nice rune.
What a start for Alliance in the bottom lane to be able to secure that.
And to see them go aggressive tri-lane with a defensive...
He was close enough to deny that.
Then Snare could
He put himself around EGM. Is he going to level up in Snare? He's right behind DD.
He doesn't want to.
He wants Riptide first.
Yeah, he wants Riptide more badly, so he probably wouldn't be able to kill there as well. Nightmare being available, of course.
They need a Crystal Maiden to basically get herself in range for it. Then we have our middle lane, so S4 up against Xiao 8. And that'll be Nyx versus Puck. Yao on the top lane as we set up against Admiral Bulldog. He's already playing around with the Radiant Creep Wave a little bit. And then on the bottom lane, Sylar is the Alchemist with DD and DDC supporting as Bane and Visage respectively. And EGM and Arke supporting Loda on that bottom lane as the Gyrocopter, Crystal Maiden, as well as Naga Siren is the combination.
Yeah, and that DD rune secures a little bit more farm for him on the first wave. Also, it's pretty hard for Sylar, being a melee hero, to go up against 3 or 2 range heroes, and then the nuke from EGM being pretty nice as well.
This is actually a really horrible position. Whoop, hello, Nightmare. Nightmare, Concoction. Are they really thinking about this? Nightmare was stolen by Arcane, and that's a good target to switch to. DDC, Soul Assumption, First Blood, goes to the Visage. Sylar moving back right now. Loda wants a little bit of revenge for this. Got Rocket Barrage again. Damage on DD. Nightmare still off cooldown. 25 seconds, and Sylar body blocks it. Soul Assumption, Concoction. Gyro goes down. DDC still alive. EGM's going to be stunned up. DD's right behind him, and EGM must bail. And
it is insane to watch LGD play sometimes. The way they just target people is amazing.
It's the positioning. It's the positioning. The second he realized he was going down, I don't know if it was Calculator saying he could stay there from his full life. It was just DD realizing he had to be in that position to get the initial Nightmare. Then it was pulled over. And then LGD making the split-second decision. You knew who they wanted from the very, very start. They wanted to shut down Loda. And then Arcade, the Crystal Maiden, we know she's squishy.
She is. She is a very easy target if you ever see her out of position just a little bit. And even there, she was standing pretty far back, but such an easy kill win to go for her.
The only downside right now is that creep wave just got a lot of momentum behind it. That's 2 creep waves of experience coming to this defensive tri-lane.
Another downside for them is that mid lane, 11 for 5 against 3 for 3. S4 really doing well against Xiao 8.
Actually, yeah, this combination, this controlling Xiao 8, this isn't it. Like, You can talk about the trade-off we were currently getting here. S4 is getting good farm. This is going to give him a Blink Dagger at a good rate. But the level 6 in rotation from Xiao Wei was probably originally meant to keep the balance of the bottom lane in favor of LGD.
Yeah, they really want to use that puck early on, or the Nyx early on, to help out the bottom lane. But so far the bottom lane is doing good for themselves. It's more the solo lanes that's important.
Yep. And then speaking of the other solo lane, Yao, who on this top lane is Magnus, is up to level 4, and it's 11-11. No denies for either of these players. Oh, there's trouble. Oh, there's big trouble. EGM going to get Concoction sunned up, full channel, and the Soul Assumption. Loader trying to flat cannon down the rest of LGD. Sylar held in position by RK. Sylar moving back. DD, he can't hold it. And now Loader trying to man-fight. A Grave Chill slows him down. The kill will come. Gyro goes down, RK will retreat, so carry for carry in the bottom lane. But it's again another death for Loader. He is 0-2.
They also got a kill before that.
That's
the kill
true.
of the Naga Siren as well, so that's 2 for 1. And they're doing so well now, having 4 kills on that bottom lane, only for 1.
The only thing they need right now is with a 2 for 1 is to supersize me. 4-1, and Bane. He will retreat back to base, but he's got 683 gold in that Bane already. Support Bane, who just gets to be involved in a whole lot of kills. He is 0-0-4. We've basically got the support Melk Award as a possibility right now.
Yeah, there's still far ways to go though.
Yep. Xiao Wei having a little bit more fun with S4. This is just going to be a little bit of a fun trade until S4 finally hits that level 6, and then we add Dream Call into the mix. So we had Silence and Dream Call. If both hit on Xiao Wei, he basically knows he's dead.
Yeah, that's a big room bottom.
Nice little snipe. You want to leave something else behind? Scavengers.
And neither of the carries really getting that much time to farm here on bottom lane. Sylar up to 11 last hits, Loader up to 11 as well.
He's almost welcoming the damage from the DD just so he can mock S4 with his own tangos. The ultimate thing would be right now is if Prophet TP'd in and then sprouted up and he'd just eat his way back through again. But that would mean Admiral Bulldog has to leave this top lane. He's actually quite happy. Actually, maybe he shouldn't be. Yao's out leveling him on this top lane.
Yao is out farming him on the top lane. 22 CS, so Yao showing how good he is with this Magnus just for laning phase even.
Yep.
And hitting his level 6 really soon.
All he needs is one more creep to die, or maybe even a treant. We got a little bit of a dive from S4. Going pretty deep there on Xiao Wei, but Xiao Wei pulls the creep wave back to his tier 2 tower. So if you want a safe period area to farm, well actually maybe it's not so safe. Maybe it's not so safe at all. He's bottling up, and S4, he's going to see if he can commit to this.
S4 is only level 5 though, so
he's level 6 now. Yeah. He came in range of the creep wave.
Came in and got that EXP.
But he still wants to make sure he can get in close enough. There goes your Dream Call. Needs the orb to hit as well. Wants to stun. The orb flies astray. Prophet Ultimate Spike Cameras stuns him back. Xiao Wei, he won't have enough. Naga comes to help. S4 phase shifts to evade the tower damage.
Yeah.
Nice combination, but they rotate a hero out and they use the Prophet Ultimate for that.
Yeah, and look at Loader. This is something they always do. Whenever offlane doesn't go too well and you have a gyrocopter there, this is what you do. You just go in, start hitting the Ancients. You don't even really farm them yet because it takes too long, but you can start working on it at least.
It's just the preparation. It's the preparation. A lot of people, like, I know we made a quick reference to it about DreamHack Winter last year, because that was the year when Alliance was able to take it out when they had their older roster before EGM joined them up, and we just saw these 5. Sometimes, well, I think it was before a gold patch where we had like 6-stack kind of stuff.
Yes.
And it was just farm. Sven with his cleave and just one hits everything.
We haven't seen much Sven this tournament though.
No. Well, we had.
He kind of fell out of trend immediately after.
We had one from Quantic.
That's true.
But
let's not talk about him.
No. That is like the game that shall not be named, and the actions that took place that shall not be remembered. 4-2. Let's push to the tier 1.
They could switch around the gyrocopter to top and farm with him and just send down Bulldog to offlane, but he has gone for Phase Boots and Basilius, and it's very nice to lane against a middle hero when you go for these items because you can really start putting pressure.
Look at S4 movement.
S4 is really
with that haste rune, he's looking to kill off Sylar here, but he's coming smack bang into the middle of a creep wave. And then
top lane as well.
And he's TPing out already.
Not gonna go for it.
Alright, we've got Arcane EGM up there trying to look for a kill on the mag. And then the rotation down from Xiao Wei. Everyone is just basically... Yep, there it goes. Follow-up stun from Sylar. And they've got Loader. Third death.
Load of 3 deaths now, 7 minutes in. LGD really doing a good job shutting him down.
And that's the worst possible thing that can happen to a Gyro right now. He's got boots, he's got consumables, he'll never even have a chance to use these little things, and maybe one day he'll finish up his wand, but he won't have a damage dealing item, let alone a BKB, anytime soon. And that's up against a hero like Sylar. Like Sylar, who's got still only 1 point up in Greevil's Greed, and not even Zhao Wei. Thought maybe he would be able to get that stun off.
Yeah.
With phase shift, very difficult to land. But unless Loda's got a lot of these stacks prepared, which, to be honest, there's actually some really good stacks right there. His gold income is going to be nowhere near where it needs to be when the timing of LGD hits. And that's Yao with Arcane's Blink Dagger and Alchemist when he has his Shadow Blade up and running too.
Yeah, the dangerous part for Alliance is that Loda is getting shut down on bottom lane, and Yao had really good laning time on top lane. So, of course, they did do well on the mid, 38 for 12 on Puck.
Yep.
So S4 doing his part really well, but 26 last hits on Nyx as well, so he's not doing too bad.
It starts to make you also think too, where is the Alliance DPS going to come from? When you look at this, you got Naga who's getting experience up on the top lane to hopefully give him a level 6. And then you got Prophet who's gone back inside the jungle with Phase Boots and Ring of Basilius. We're not seeing this fast rush up into some good DPS. And Gyro's going to take a long time before he gets there, even with stacks. How are they going to be able to kill off Sylar if he gets this AC up, let alone if he even gets anywhere near a heart?
It basically comes down to kiting him and just trying to move around him. Like, they have to use EGM and then Snare. Just try and use the Naga as well as possible. Do you see the block going down?
It's actually a good thing to do as well. I believe you actually have to clamp them down now, because if you have them flying, they don't actually do a block. It's like the change they made to the couriers.
Yeah, I believe they did that.
Yeah, flying units won't affect it, but when they're in the stone form, they will do so.
Exactly. Even going in and just stealing a little bit.
Sniping what he can.
He's like, yeah, there's some nice farm there. I'll just do that while I'm standing and protecting my Alchemist at the same time.
Just weaken him. That's a lot of damage up on those familiars. Sniping off one hero there is not that... Oh, he lost one. But it doesn't give gold or experience. That means he has to resummon, which is another 130 seconds away. Oh, Trouble Yao. Trouble Yao. Silence on him. Bulldog going to TP himself in. RP catches 2. Zhao Wei. Triple stun. And the follow-up. Okay, he needs more help. DD's on his way in. Zhao Wei, he doesn't have another hit, and there's your Sprout. Zhao Wei, where's those tankos? Not there. DD walks in. Nightmare up on Bulldog. Familiar, going to look for the stomp. Can't do it. 5 seconds, so just the damage to Admiral Bulldog. Soul Assumption. DDC gets the kill. EGM retries to fight with a brain sap. DD can say himself alive, and now they say stop the fun. EGM sings the song, and RK and EGM will back themselves out of here.
EGM from Westeros.
At least Loda's got some space up on the top lane now. Finding himself some farm. And S4 comes to the bottom lane to go on Sylar.
Sylar is too tanky for him to kill.
Yep.
So it's just him coming down here, clearing the farm, make sure tower doesn't take damage. And Yao looking pretty strong here on the top lane, just laning up against Loda. Loda seems like he can't find an easy lane to farm. LGD are just strong on all fronts right now.
He needs space. That's all it really is. He just needs space. And LGD, they have to watch every time Loda rotates, changes around. It might even be worthwhile now for LGD, even if it costs them a vendetta, to get some sentry wards around deeper inside the jungle here, so they know if there's going to be some big sacks that Loda is looking to pick off. Like, they've already been looking with these familiars to make sure that the Ancients are not as easy to snipe out. But if they can stop Loda from getting any kind of stacks, or maybe even just stop Admiral Bulldog from having any camps there, they can really control the income of Alliance. They already have to a point. Their advantage is just over 1,500, they 2,000 experience advantage, and we're 11 minutes into the game. So it's looking good for LGDCN.
I like what LGD are doing. They did see this Observer Ward go down by the river, so they smoke through it. Just gonna look for any form of kill as they push into its tower. Doesn't seem like Alliance want to contest this, though.
It's kind of different to our last game when you had a Keeper of the Light that would TP in to defend the tower. This time around, be like, Nature's Prophet will have to come in. And in fact, oh no. I was just faking it up there. He didn't want to complete that TP. It was already too late anyway. That tower was gone before he'd be able to TP in.
Yeah, it was. So no sentry ward, so they can't de-ward.
Tier 1 tower top lane. Loda's pushing power is really not great enough for this. And with Yao with that shockwave, all he's got to do is throw it out once and he'll even pull the creep wave aggro back past that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, Midas now finished up on Bulldog. Goes for Midas even after Phase Boots and Basilius. So pretty late Midas, but it can still be worth it. Bulldog really one of those players who loves going into Midas no matter what.
He always has to be prepared for the late game.
Yep.
And being able to have that extra power in the middle game with the extra experience, you can work through the camps a lot quicker.
Yeah, it's not only that, also the damage, and biggest part, your levels will be so much higher if you go for a Midas than if you don't. It's not really about the gold.
We're moving back for, yes we are.
Look at Sylar and his gold now. Closing up on...
He's almost got that Shadow Blade sitting at 1600, so he's going to have his Shadow Amulet. And Zhao Wei with a haste rune up his sleeve, which he will pop, and Vendetta looking for free gold, and he's going to find it too. Naga Siren ulti 6 seconds on cooldown, and does he find him first? Looks around the corner, doesn't get him, can't see him really.
Bane was moving just by this creep, so we see just very defensive positioning, but Loda can't farm anything as they do this.
This is that chance for warding now. Does TDC haven't... They have a sentry ward. That's all.
S4 pushing really far here on...
Oh, he's already used his orb. He's already used his orb. He's not going to jump to that one. He's going to stay on the radiant side of the river. Zhao Wei, you can see him. He wanted to do it through. And now S4 going to actually TP him out on the other side of the tree line. They don't find him.
Zhao Wei almost made a huge play there, going into orb, spike carapassing, and then running up, trying to get the stun as well. So, almost got him actually. Not too far.
S4 is able to evade. And that now means 2.
So the game has slowed down a little bit because Alliance don't want to contest this anymore. They just want to hide away from the fighting of LGD. But it will be harder as the Blink Dagger is going to finish up now on Magnus very soon.
And then it's going to be Danger Zone. Not to mention the fact they're still letting Sylar free farm. And like, you don't let Sylar free farm. His gold per minute is still outstripping anybody on Alliance. Even with that hand of Midas over on Profit.
Yeah, and even with only 1 point in the Grievous Greed.
Okay, it was really nice knowing you, man. There goes your stun, mana burn, and then skewer, just to hold him there a little bit longer in Shockwave. Very easy and accurate snipe out by LGD, and all set up by this ward here. They knew when he was overcommitting, and then the rest of the team, Silence already TP'd up here. They want a tier 1 town. At the same time, Alliance looked for the trade.
Yeah, Alliance, as they're weaker, they're always gonna look for this trade.
And maybe Loda can finally finish up his Ancient stack.
So close. Tower's going to be deniable for sure.
Yep. He's just trying to force S4 out here. Oh, Silence. He was looking for an RP there. Familiars were coming in too. Prophet will kill off the tower, but stun. Zhao Wei through the rear. Fiend's grip. Up on S4. RP will hold him there. Soul Assumption with 1. Skewer back out again. They take a 2-for in the mid.
LGD using that Blink Dagger on Yao immediately. This is how they play with these heroes. They definitely know how to use the combination heroes. I say that, I mean all the stun combinations that they have available, and they just use it so perfectly.
The coordination is just spectacular. But they've got to keep moving forward.
They're going to look for Aki.
Oh, he's just around the corner. Frostbite will keep him a little bit more space here.
Could maybe have stunned him there with the Spike Carapace and then turn it into a stun, but it's good that they don't overcommit as the mana pool is very low.
Is this really just to knife the tower? Loda, he's got a cooldown available. They will deny the tower, and EGM, well, he's still too close. He's still way too close here. Zhao Wei looking for the stun. Tried it. Loda actually being pulled back, and they're going to take 2 actually from LGD. There's a great initiation in from S4 with a Dream Call, and now Yao held in position. It's a turnaround here for Alliance. Gyro will buy back into the game. Sylar, the only player left alive. The Sentry Wall will see him retreat out of here.
That was EGM and S4 just coming in and dealing all the damage. The Riptide and the Puck nukes, and I wouldn't even be surprised if they go into a Roche now.
Wouldn't be surprised. It might be the reason too while Yao is buying back. And I don't know if I was in there with LGD's mindset, because I was looking at Alliance with that Naga sleep. They waited till the very, very end from Alliance. Like normally you'd see cooldown set up, then the positioning from the Puck. It was just this wonderful almost bait of we are going to pull out, and then a very quick reinsert.
Yeah, really good positioning there by S4. He has his Blink Dagger now.
They're too late. There's a blink down. The Silence out. They've managed to catch out 2 right now. Roshan has gone down, and maybe they can get a little bit of collateral. Sylar held in position. Loda, concoction, and there's a lot of damage being done by DDC. Loda, 1 charges. RP catching 2. Where's this skewer? Dragging it back. The Aegis already been popped off. S4 still fighting in this fight, and Sylar, well, he had to back up. Admiral Bulldog, DDC, he did so much damage, and Zhao Wei, that big spike carapace. S4, he still wants 1, but he can't fight it. Evades the concoction. Orb hit, but now DD holds him in position, and that won't be enough. Prophet already bought back into this game. Zhao Wei set up and loaded. They still didn't kill him off after the Aegis respawned him.
And the Lions really starting to take control in these fights.
That they are, man, but Sylar still not dying enough for probably their liking. They lost Diego Simon. Sure, they got Roshan, but that net worth of Alchemist, we saw him in the last game. We know how much power Sylar can get up on that hero.
Oh, yeah.
Alliance needs more fights like this, and they need Loader to actually have a kill. He's 0-4-4 right now. We actually have a real contender for a Malka War, but not on a support role.
That's actually true, but I doubt they will come to that. As you get your damage items, you always end up getting last hits on kills with
You'd hope so. You'd really hope so.
Yeah, and Mech on Bulldog's Furion. I haven't seen him do this too many times, actually. He's one of the few Furions that really dislike going into the mech, but this game they needed it, and that's why they're actually winning these fights.
It brings that healing exactly when it's required. Zhao Wei on the hunt already. They realize with this Observer Ward, they're still up, that Admiral Bulldog has gone into his own jungle, so Vendetta, they're really moving into a risky area, but during this nighttime, they're going to find S4 here. This is real problems. When he hits, follows up stun, nice phase shift. S4 so quick on the reaction, and then Nanoburn, he had the spike Carapace, but Admiral Bulldog and S4 waited out. Nightmare trying to be cast by DD to evade a little bit of this damage, and the puck ulti holds him in position. Well, S4 moves up to the high side, and now support comes in from Yao. RP's available, 3 to catch in, and the follow-up familiar stun, but they've got to back themselves up. S4 still in with the DD. Yao help position with the frostbite. Loader, he's got enough damage. Oh, Yao! 11 HP. S4 held in, and now Naga stops the fun. The fun will continue though. Familiar's looking for an opening, but they can't get it out.
What a beautiful save by EGM, and what a timing on the Alchemist stun.
We still saw Mag go down. I'm wondering if these trees were the culprit, and I'm assuming they were. In fact, Magnus Gyro was the one to get the kill.
Yeah, and the EXP, we saw that early lead that LGD really asserted control of the game, but now these fights going the way of Alliance, the experience really starting to show that.
How much is it?
It's a big spike down.
It is. Alliance, they're dragging it back. Don't have the gold advantage just yet, but they are on their way.
We might see LGD head into a little bit more of the farming game now, trying to get that up, as the Grievous Street is heading level 2 now.
Oh, when you got a creep wave like this coming in for Sylar, I can pretty much assure you that gold grab's going to spike back up again. He needs more than 2 points though. He really needs more than 2 points. He needs levels up on this Alchemist, even though he does have the second point up in Chemical Rage. Without this Hand of Midas, Sylar is not having this huge momentum that he was finding during the first game.
Yeah, they need to hit his Assault Cuirass timing as well, so they get that armor up again. The minus armor from Riptide is pretty scary to go up against.
Got movement from Alliance.
With Medallion.
Yao, how fast are your reflexes? We already saw how fast S4s were.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's going to be LGD moving over. Is Vendetta going to pop off? They've actually already, again, Alliance with the prep. They eat the smokes and reveal. Throw off the Ori with the Nova's better, and S4 jumps in but hit himself. Wonderful spike Carapace, and then skewer up. RP drags a man, but RK with the oldie from the tree line. LGD slowed, damage. DDC even held in place by RK. Double kill for Admiral Bulldog. Just ripping through the lineup of LGD, and they will take a tier 1 tower as well.
And that's a huge fight.
Oh, they're back in against Sylar. He's going to get ensnared. No mana. Comes Shadowblade. Held there. S4 jumps in, throwing away his life. And they even pick up the birds.
Oh, they can't go in like that and lose their Alchemist as well.
No, they cannot. Zhao Wei, he wants to get some kind of, like...
Look at Zhao Wei just going in, but there's nothing to kill really. That mech keeping them high HP. It's off cooldown very soon as well.
He probably won the Crystal Maiden, but Crystal Maiden instantly TP back to base. Nothing had to be lost here. All they want was the tier 2 tower, and they're going to back up anyway. But Zhao Wei maybe just waiting until Magnus comes back up again. No RP available, however, and no tier 2 tower to TP to.
And we see the same build as we always saw in the group stage when EGM played on Naga Siren. Always going into this very strength-based build. Having Urn, having Magic Wand, Ogre Club. He is already up to 1300 HP on a support.
And then goes into the Halberd, so you get the double lockdown.
Yep, he's going to go for Halberd, no doubt.
This is preparation from Alliance. Sentry Ward down instantly. The second they're looking to smoke. They want to throw that down. Illusion Rune for S4. And even a regeneration rune spawns after EGM. There's your instant S4 jump in. Xiao Wei needs to get that stun. Looking for the double on it. He keeps being restricted. Now he throws the stun out. It's on a fake puck. Sylar throws his stun out on a fake puck as well. They don't find anything real. Loda pops the BKB up. Xiao Wei will get himself out to safety. They lose the Alchemist. And they may even lose DDC right now. They're right behind him. Nova. Frostbite's off cooldown. There's already a brain sap. DD. Fiend's Grip. Now up on Loda. But the ensnare from EGM will instantly cancel it off. And Yao, he can't RP. He's silenced up by S4, and S4 blinks off. Triple kill for Loda. He just sits at the back and dishes out the damage.
Going S5, they're just so strong. They just train strat straight through it. And so many earn charges now, they can just keep going.
Do you think they even want to breach the bases early on?
Yes, I think they can.
The only thing I'll be careful about is a buyback from the Magnus, which he does have right now.
They're going to back out and play it safe.
What else is coming out in the courier? New items? Okay,
there's so many items coming up, so I guess they really needed to back.
What are we sitting on the current gold? Almost 3k gold up on Nature's Prophet, and that's all going into an Orchid now. That's what Admiral Bulldog wants to finish up.
Looking over to EXP graph, I remember what a big spike that was earlier on, but looking at it now, it's just a little bump compared to what happened since then.
Yep. Makes 4,000 look like a little anthill. And there it is, your Halberd. All he needs is that 450 to finish up the belt of strength.
Belt of
mediocre strength.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry.
Mediocre strength.
I remember. It's not really that great. It's not giant strength. It's just mediocre.
Mediocre strength.
Yeah. But Ultimate Orb as well coming the way of S4. So he's on his way into a Scythe of Vice. So we're going to get Hex, we're going to get Heaven's Halberd, and we're going to get a Silence. That's what's coming out as the 3 next key items for Alliance. As far as the items for LGD go, well, they got their mech. DDC will be able to finish up his treads in just a moment. Xiao Wei, nowhere near that Blink Taker. For that mid-solo, it really didn't work for them. And Yao, well, he kind of wants that BKB, but it's a long way off. And Bane, he just wants to live.
I wouldn't say it didn't work. It's just that this game got so hard all of a sudden. After that one fight that they lost mid.
Silent, not real, not real. Again, like, they've wasted a lot of stuns. That team fight in the middle lane.
These are really good sentry wards the Alliance are dropping when they push top. Look at it. The vision they have up in the river and even down here.
And they leave the Centaur to block that choke point. Yep. Xiao Wei comes out, they instantly see him. And the familiar stun, they blink in. S4 gets a double. Sylar throws out the stun, but S4 evades. Face shits it out. Yao, he's going to go down. Didn't get the RP off. They're backing him out. Sylar goes down one way, and there goes your ensnare. DDC, Sylar will TP himself out. DDC will not be as lucky. Dying on the side. Double kill for Loda. He's 8-4. He is on an 8-0 kill streak after being 0-4 at the start.
Finding them kills now. 8 kill streak. One more for Godlike and just going on this tier 2 now.
And the Halberd has arrived on the courier.
With the Orchid, they just look so strong.
Yep, I don't see how LGD can defend this. They need more time, but the glyph is not available. 15 seconds before Mag RP and DD. Ooh, Puck is right next to an EGM. He showed himself. They blink in, they find him, they orb him. He's locked in the corner, and they even with the orb jump straight down to Sylar. Sentry wards, they know what they're doing. Mag will come back, but RP gets useless right now. There's basically an AoE stun. And that's the reason why Alchemist has to buy back. No chemical radio out for 30 seconds.
And look at that back out by Alliance. It's really, really disciplined how they just back out in that scenario. After even killing the Alchemist, but just with that buyback, they immediately react.
They're coming back though. Naga, ulti, sets up. Yao as well as Sylar. Really which one do they want? The Centaur goes over to Yao. Centaur stomp. They want that RP gone, and they're going to get it too. One charge, stick charge is not enough. He goes down. Properly bounces through, and this could be LGD's last stand. S4, nuke again. So hard to hit these things. Puck Dream Call onto. Now finally the concoction will connect. Soul Assumption charge, but Loda opens up through the rear. There goes your Rocket Barrage. Flat cannon as well. It's GG. Alliance. They will advance. They will face up against the winner of IG versus DK, but they are into the winners bracket semi-final.
Alliance, man, coming out really, really strong after that extremely long game 1 that we had, and they look really happy over in the booth.
Yeah, that they do, man, and they should be really, really happy. Game number 1 was a marathon for them. It really came down to the wire, and game number 2, LGD, they came out with so much control. But Alliance, they hit back, and they hit back really, really hard.
So they did, man. So they did.
Yeah, and man, well, Alliance, they get to enjoy their victory, and we can get to enjoy now moving on to even better games as well coming up. IG versus DK coming up next, and the best guys to talk about both this game just passed as well as next game coming up is our boys over at the panel.
Hear you. Oh, there you go. I always like it when I can hear myself in a nice little echo.
You have a very soothing voice.
Yeah, I've got it on tape if you want to buy. It's over at the secret shop. It's really secret. It's not. It's off of the menu. It's off the menu. Yeah, so congratulations to Alliance, a 2-0 victory there over LGD, and that will secure them a spot in the upper bracket semi-finals, where they, of course, will be joined by Na'Vi and Tongfu. But their next match, they'll have to play the winner of IG versus DK, and that's where we're going next. But let's talk about Alliance and LGD China. So I've got my stuff to say on the game.
Oh, do you?
But I'm going to let you do, because you always ask me, like, what do you think? And I dodge, right?
And you never indulge me, so what do you think?
Well, basically, right, it's like this, yeah? I've got, like, a Shadow Blade, a Yule's Scepter, Force Staff, Ghost Scepter, Boots of Travel, and Blink.
Refresher?
How many items is that? No, I don't know, but you can't catch me. That's how I play my axe.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But I'll let you. Okay, so this is my story. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Sweet. Right, where do I start?
I'm ready, James.
Yeah, so obviously it started off better for LGD, just because the Alchemist was able not only to get some farm, he was able to get some kills, and they did shut down Loader. So they won the defensive tri-lane versus the offensive tri-lane. So you're like, okay, LGD are in the driving seat. Unfortunately for them, I felt it was a bit of a mistake that Sylar didn't want to pick up a Midas, just to kind of accelerate ahead when he had time to. He went into the Shadow Blade. Obviously, Shadow Blade, you might want to do not a Midas afterwards because you want to instantly fight, but I felt that maybe he should have done that. And then just the team fight potential, S4 was really the big factor. You saw later in the stages, this is a little bit later, but S4 denied the RP twice in 2 crucial fights, which was huge because no RP, and that was the chance that they needed. And really, I also have to give a lot of credit to EGM for his Song of the Sirens. The deny on the mid tower was huge, and also yeah, this is one of the fights down bottom.
Yeah, you really have to commend the plays from the support.
I think actually, if we look at Aki, this is really great. If you watch Aki,
ridiculous.
People who actually get the ultimate of Crystal Maiden is amazing. Aki didn't have the easiest time on Crystal Maiden because obviously you're up against a Nyx Assassin, so Spike Carapace. But if you don't get Spike Carapace, he's completely ignored by the rest of the team's stuns, and that was, to me, crucial that they won this fight, because that fight was really big for them. And this is when Loader, he didn't have his BKB yet, he had a really bad time, but then shortly afterwards he was going to get his BKB. But I also, Admiral Bulldog, big pickup for me, for him in the game, was picking up the mechanism. It allowed them to actually take these fights. There was a mech on Visage for the other team, but overall, and then you can see, yeah, Loader gets his BKB and he just goes through people.
Basically, where they started getting back in charge, Alliance, was the fight on the middle tower, where EGM went in, slept everyone.
Yep.
S4 blinks in with the puck, and then Nature's Wrath just hits everyone on LGD. They instantly lost 3 heroes, and despite having Yao having some great RPs throughout the game on Magnus, like we saw Arcus Crystal Maiden on the bottom lane, perfect positioning, as you were saying, and those fights just turned it completely around. I don't think LGD got more than 3 kills, whereas Alliance ended up with 12 kills in a row. And that just, like, I was telling everyone that I was watching the game with that, all right, we're going to 3 games after seeing the early game, because Loader was sitting on brown boots and 700 gold. And I think by that time, Sylar almost had his Shadow Blade and a Power Tread and some other stuff. But like you were saying, he might as well have gone for a Midas to extend his farm lead. Yeah,
and actually play maybe a little bit more passive and get a bigger advantage. So we'll come back and talk about the game a little bit more and also the game coming up. But for now, we're going to go to Casey with an interview with Loader.